Just real quickly, let me introduce myself. My name is Meredith Oram. I'm a fitness and nutrition consultant at Below the Fork. I am also a certified group fitness instructor and a certified health coach in training. So today I want to talk about the BMI scale. Now for years, even before I was officially a certified health professional, I've been saying that the BMI scale is a complete, utter joke. It doesn't match up well with actual health. It's a poor representation, and I understand the thinking behind it in that they do want to try and classify people for health purposes, but the science behind this one is so off that people are being labeled incorrectly. Now, I hate labels anyway, but in the BMI scale has been used to identify whether people are healthy, overweight, or obese, and with that labeling, health insurance companies may jack up your rates because you are obese or you are overweight. So the picture I was just showing you guys that I posted on my Instagram today at Below the Fork, I'm like a comfortable size 8. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, I'm not like squeezed in there. I've you know, a comfortable size 8, and my body weight fluctuates. There's times where, like, I have clothes that are size 10, they still fit, they don't fall off. So, like, I consider myself a fit person, but I have curves. Like, I'm a woman, and this is where my body is comfortable. I have been size 6 and almost in a size 4 in college, but I starved myself to get to that. My body is not comfortable at that weight. My body is comfortable in this way. I'm eating 80-20, meaning 80% of the time I'm eating really clean, healthy foods, and 20% of the time I'm eating whatever I want. I enjoy pizza with my family, and I don't feel guilty about it, and you know, that's just kind of how I live my lifestyle. But I do consider myself very healthy. I think a size 8 is very healthy. But if you put my weight and height, I'm 5'8", if you put it into the BMI scale, and that's just using an online calculator, I weigh 158 pounds, I'm 5'8", and that is 24.1 on the BMI scale. And just to put that in reference, healthy on the BMI scale is a range of 18.5 to 24.9. So I'm within a 0.8 of being considered an overweight BMI, which is 25 to 29.9. I mean, does that sound remotely like it makes sense? And I'm very excited because I feel like fitness professionals have been saying this for so long. It's not just me. Many of us feel this way. And finally, UCLA did a study which basically confirmed that the BMI scale is a joke, which I'm so happy about, and maybe we'll stop relying on that. So a couple interesting comments. So like I said, I did post that on my Instagram earlier. I also put it on my personal Facebook page, and I linked to the article on my Below the Fork Facebook page. And I've gotten some really cool comments, and one that was very sad and made me mad and sad all at the same time, and I really wanted to talk about that today. So one of my girlfriends posted, or commented rather, she said, "My cousin's teenage daughter had the BMI in her report card recently. The BMI was indexing high, and my cousin is athletic, on the soccer team, fit, and a completely normal teen. She was in hysterics and couldn't shake the thought that she was fat." What are we teaching our kids? Just awful. I've never heard of that. Have any of you ever heard of that being put now in the report card? Unbelievable, right? I'm shocked by that. I can't believe. Now, I know in high school and middle school, we always did the presidential race and, not race, but, the presidential mile, and you got, you know, flexibility, which is like the one thing that I was the best in the class at. Meanwhile, my like asthmatic butt was trailing behind in the mile, but you know, they did those tests, and I think to a degree they're good because they help you help teach our children the importance of being healthy and fit. But we're going about it the wrong way, and the fact that a BMI scale, she's being labeled in her report card that makes me so sad. And I think that is the number one reason why the BMI scale is such a joke. It does not take into account those who are athletic, or your frame. So I think one of the reasons I weigh what I do is my chest. If it wasn't there, probably would be closer in their healthy weight scale. But you know, we're all built differently, we're all beautiful, and we're all just need to get away from focusing on the weight. And it's not just the BMI scale, it's the bathroom scale. It's just a dangerous thing to get fixated on these numbers, because these numbers ultimately mean nothing. And I think there's so much freedom when we change our perspective. It is a very slippery slope. I have a past of weighing myself every day. Those were like, you know, my sort of starvation years where I say I was hating myself towards skinny, and just miserable. But oh man, those size 4 pants slid on. Who cares? And I look back at those pictures now, and actually one came up in my time hop recently, and it was senior year of college, and I look emaciated. I don't think it's cute at all. Like that size does not look good on me, but that was considered more in the middle of the BMI scale. And so that's stupid. It's such crap. So, you know, when we change our perspective so that we eat for health, not for weight loss, great things can happen. And that's the important message that we need to get across, and why I get so angry about the scale. Because when we're focusing on that weight loss, we lose perspective. And I had a client recently, and I loved when she said this. She put it so perfectly, and it was like one of her aha moments. She said, I have been focused so long on weight loss that I've lost track of eating for my health. Yeah, and that is my number one complaint of programs like Weight Watchers, or, you know, the packaged food ones where you're reliant on purchasing packaged product from a company. You're not learning how to go on like a normal free person, because you're so reliant on these little milestones of the scale and it's not real life. It's not. And that's why they work for a moment and not forever. I mean, there are some people, of course, there's always people who break the rules, you know, and are able to pull it off. But for the majority of people, it doesn't work that way, because the mindset is wrong. When you're going to like a Weight Watchers meeting or something, and they're celebrating your 0.02 weight loss, they're missing the point. And I know now, I've seen some of the latest advertisements about how they're trying to get beyond the scale, which is kind of funny too, because their name is Weight Watchers, but you know, whatever, just saying. I'm hoping though that means that they're finally getting it and knowing that you cannot fixate on the scale, because it wrecks people's self-esteem and makes them not eat for their health, because they try, and like what I did when I was on that program. And I'm not on here to knock Weight Watchers. I don't know why I kind of steered in that direction, but I think it aligns in that when we're focusing on the scale and on the BMI scale too, you start focusing on calories as well, and trying to cram in as many of those 100-calorie packs, or just really unhealthy. Anytime you see low fat, I just run away because it's chemicals, or it's sugar, or it's salt. It's not the good whole foods that God made for us to enjoy. That's how our bodies run most efficiently. So I always say this too. There are people, and I'm a perfect example. So take that, you know, period of time where I said, you know, I was more like a size 4. I was starving myself to be that weight. I was so unhealthy. I was starving myself. It was so unhealthy. There was a period of time, specifically senior year of college, when I was, quick backstory, I'll just put like one sentence to this. I have celiac disease before I was misdiagnosed with ADHD, so I was on Adderall XR, and I kind of took advantage of the fact that Adderall XR is a appetite suppressant, so that led into also me hating myself towards skinny and getting to that skinny weight. So there was a time where I was living off, I'm not exaggerating, I can like picture myself in the student union studying for like marketing exams and eating peanut M&Ms and soft pretzels. Like, oh, and I was a size 4. I was so unhealthy, but according to that BMI scale at that time, I was like spot on with their healthy weight. Fast forward to now, when 80% of the time I am eating healthy, God-made foods. I love fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and meat and eggs and, you know, all that natural food that God provided for us to eat and be most efficient on. And then, yeah, 10-20% of the time I'm eating whatever, but it's still not, I'm not, I think because I have to be gluten-free, that kind of helps nix some of that. But overall, like, I'm eating way more food now and considered like close to that overweight, where really I'm in the best shape of my life. I work out, I'm a fitness instructor, I'm a health coach. Like, it's just laughable to me that we have allowed the BMI scale to be something of any credibility whatsoever. So I'm really excited about that article in the LA Times about UCLA conducting this study. I really hope to see that this gets the ball rolling, that we get away from that BMI scale, because and that, again, that comment that my friend left on my Instagram, that was really eye-opening for me, because when I first read the article and everything, I was thinking more, you know, as an adult and how it affects us, and how, you know, there are insurance companies that's where they slate you in and you may have a higher rate because you're obese or overweight. But it's affecting our kids. And if they're doing that in high school and they're labeling them, and not only are they labeling them, they're mislabeling them. Because if you have an athlete, or, you know, any of us with normal, healthy bodies, you're giving the wrong message. And that is such it's an impressionable enough thing when you're, you know, 32 like me, but to take like a young high school student, I can't. So anyway, that's my little rant for today. I hope to see a change with BMI scale being anything. I hope we're like, what was BMI? What was body mass something? I hope that's where we are in a couple years, so we'll see. So if you want to see what the actual article is, I tweeted it earlier, and then it's also on my well, it's on my personal Facebook, so you wouldn't see that, but it's on my Below the Fork Facebook page as well. So go check it out. It's a great read. Really exciting things, I think, happening in the health community. So the more we get them on board with focusing on health and whole foods, I think the better off our nation and our obesity epidemic will be. And also, side note, not to say that that obesity isn't an issue in our country, but it also makes you wonder if those statistics are as high as they actually are when all of this has been mislabeled. So anyway, food for thought. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm